If you are in the service sector, then you must know that who is the right client for you. The way the clients reject you, you should also have the authority to reject your clients. This is a very strong relationship between a client and a business owner because they both need each other's support in some of their area of their life or their profession. See, these relations are very sensitive. These are relations cannot go only when only one person is maintaining these relationships, but the other person also have to respect and give value to this relationship. This is not just a business deal. This is a long-term commitment. If you are in service sector, it is something like you can take an example of a teacher and a student. Right? Every teacher needs students, but at the same time, students also need teachers. No student can learn things without a good teacher, and a teacher cannot teach his skills or he cannot transfer his knowledge if they don't have the right students. So in the same way, a teacher and a student relationship is very important in life. The way the client and the business owner relationship also important and very sensitive. We should always have the courage to say no. If we find that the person who is coming to take our services and is ready to even pay you good money, but that does not fit your criteria of selection, then you should say no to that customer or to that client. You should have this courage, and before saying no, you should know that what are the criteria of selection. You shouldn't be very rude, but you should be very humble. You can always say no politely, but you should know that what is your selection criteria, what are the parameters that a client must fulfill before they buy your services. Because if your services are great and you feel that you are an expert in that industry or in your domain and you can give the best to your client, then obviously your client must give value to your services. Most of the times, only the clients or the customers, they reject the service providers or the business owners. But before doing that, you should define two things. Number one, you should create a list of those qualities which you want to have in your ideal clients. Suppose you want a client who should pay you good money. Obviously, you are doing business, so money is your first criteria, obviously, but it should not be the only criteria, right? There are many other things. The customer should understand that what product and services you are offering, right? And they should have the need of your services. Then there could be some other, you can say, the parameters which you want that your customer or your client must have. At the same time, when we, start working with such clients who initially, are very good clients, but later on they start creating problems for us. They give you potential, unnecessarily potentials, and they don't know what you expect them to do. And they, you land up in a situation where you both are arguing unnecessarily and you both start blaming each other. So there is no purpose of having this kind of relationship in life. It's better that you already identify that you don't want a certain set of people in your business, because those clients will only waste your time, they'll spoil your energy, and they'll, also demotivate your team who is working positively for your growth, right? So it's important that this relationship should be very strong, and the parties, whether it's the business owner or their team or it's the client, they both should respect each other. Even if you are not doing a business, you can take the criteria of job selection procedure. So what happens? The employer needs a good employee, and the employee also needs a good, you can say, a job or an employment, right? So they both have the requirement, and they both are there in that agreement because they can fulfill each other's requirement. The employer can pay the remuneration and the environment to learn and to grow to the candidate, and the candidate, in lieu of getting that remuneration and that environment or those skills and that experience, is really to render their services, right? Or whatever their expertise are, so they can solve the problems of the employer. So they both are contributing towards each other's needs. So in the same way, if the client is paying you money, that does not mean that money is the only factor that you should consider while selecting your client. The day you will build this kind of confidence and this message will spread out in the market, it will have impacts at two areas. Number one, you will be more confident that you will know that you are delivering the best, but also you will improve your services because now you are at a stage where you are picking up your clients, right? You are selecting them, you are shortlisting them. So if you want to do this, so you have to give the best services without any compromise. This cannot happen if your services are compromised or they are low quality services. Otherwise, you will not be able to sustain even if you adopt this strategy of rejection, right? And at the same time, when you are good in your services, you know what you are delivering is the best, and you can take the best care of your clients. The clients will also give respect to you. And the second area where you will see the impact, that there will be more demand in the industry. You have seen that there are many prestigious institutions where the students, they want to seek admission, they want to take admission and they want to join their courses. But they have a selection criteria, and the students who don't qualify that selection criteria, they get rejected. But at the same time, they are not rude. They are not being very, you can say that that institution is not behaving properly with those students whom they are rejecting, because it is their criteria of selection. So selection criteria should always be there in service sector, especially if you are giving some niche services. So if you want to grow your business peacefully, then create two sets of profiles of your clients or customers. The first, with whom you want to work with, they are your ideal clients, and the second are, you can say, the devil clients with whom you never want to work with.